Fatigue and Recovery by Bella Dawson. Fatigue is the lack of energy your muscles have to contract, or their ability to contract, or your physical or mental motivation to participate in a sports activity. When fatigue happens, you feel tired and exhausted. Recovery. Recovery can be anything from short-term recovery, such as straight after an event or match, or it can be long-term, which is a few days after your sports activity happened. It's normally doing light exercise in order to get your body back to post-exercise state. There are many reasons for fatigue which will be outlined throughout this presentation. Types of fatigue. There are 3 different physiological types of fatigue. Number 1 is local fatigue. This is within your muscles after repetitive force or contraction on them without having a recovery means it's within a specific area. Number 2 is general. This is after training when you are feeling physiological or psychologically tired. It's the after game feeling. Number 3 is chronic. This is normally because of weakened immune system due to excessive amounts of exercise, meaning overtraining, or because of a bad recovery. And the last one is psychological fatigue, called mental fatigue. This is when you tell yourself you can't go any further or push yourself anymore when you probably can. It's just because of your mindset. This could be due to not enough rest. Maximal intensity and short duration activity. Maximal intensity and short duration. An example of this would be high intensity because it uses fast glycolytic motor units, which don't fatigue quickly because it's a short activity. This lasts for about 8 seconds. As there is a quick run-up within the activity, the energy source would be ATPC system. This lasts for around 10 seconds, with ATP lasting 3 seconds and PC lasting 7 seconds. This is the only energy source as a result of this. There is a depletion of oxygen. However, because it's a short activity, it's not a high depletion, so fatigue doesn't last long. Because the activity is maximal, there is a depletion of ATP-PC stores. They will near enough deplete all their stores. This activity causes one big contraction, so it uses most of the ATP-PC stores. Within the muscles, the phosphocreatine levels deplete completely. This reduces the amount of power that is found within the muscles and could affect performances that are big, short contractions, as they won't be able to create an explosive moment. There are ways in which PC stores can be increased. This can be done by using PC or creatine supplements. Creatine is what is found in the muscle to help with short-term intense movements such as sprints. This helps to recycle the ATP-PC system and can increase energy for a short period of time. They are said to have increased sprint activity's performance by 1 to 5%. These supplements are supposed to be taken 20 grams per day for 5 to 7 days for there to be a visible physical energy increase. Taking these for a month or longer during training can increase sprint performance by another 5 to 8%. And for the gains in strength can be increased by 5 to 15%. For the supplements, the side effects are that they are known to increase your body weight, but more research needs to be done so we can have a clearer understanding of how it affects an individual and also the long-term effects it may have on sporting activities, whether they're aerobic or anaerobic. Next is moderate intensity and moderate duration. An example of this would be 800 meters. This would be using the glycolytic system, which is the system lactic acid is the main waste product in. There is also high oxygen deficiency. The lactic acid is also broken down into many things such as pyruvic acid. The high oxygen deficiency will have to be gained again at the end of the first 10 seconds. Have to be gained again. At the end, in the first 10 seconds of the 800-meter sprint, the ATP-PC system will be used for the first 10 seconds, and then for the rest of the activity, the lactic acid system is being used and so is predominant. An athlete can use the RER to understand when their lactic acid starts to build up. This would be at 0.9-ish. Towards the end of the race, the athletes would still speed up to stop the amount of lactic acid building up. In this activity, the athletes use glucose mainly. This would be their main fuel system and is widely accessible to the muscles as it's around them and within them. They rely heavily on glucose stores in the muscles as an energy source, as it helps provide energy for quicker muscular contractions. They are explosive or forceful. The acidity will increase and the pH levels will decrease because of the buildup of lactic acid within the muscles. This is because hydrogen ions are formed, and when hydrogen ions are formed, they build up lactate. They build up, which cause your body to be more acidic, which means the pH has dropped, which affects your muscle fibers' contractibility. OBLA stands for onset of blood lactate accumulation, and it is the point within exercise that the lactic acid starts to build up within the body and begins to cause fatigue. It's the point where you can't go any further. In the graph, you can see that the person hits the lactate threshold and their blood lactate increases. Glucose ingestion is where you drink and sometimes eat a solution that contains lots of sugar, meaning glucose. This increases the amount of glucose made, which means you can work for longer. Soda loading is where you drink a high alkaline solution, normally baking soda mixed with water. This helps to reduce the acidity later in the race. If you're anticipating there will be a rise, this is done to lower the rise in the muscles.